Hello and welcome once again. My name is Tim Watson with Property Mavericks. Our company, Property Mavericks, focuses primarily on single-family rentals, apartment buildings, mentorship and education, specifically cash flow type investments. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about trends and opportunities we see out in the marketplace. What area of the countries do we believe are a good play right now? What should investors be looking for? And what kind of strategy should you be executing? Some of the trends that we believe investors should be looking for right now are specifically to stay with cash flow. You know, in the past several years, it was popular to do pre-construction and bet on appreciation, and for us, that was always speculation. Strong fundamental real estate really begins with the premise of cash flow, building that passive income stream over years that will last generations. You know, this is where you buy and hold a long-term property that is going to, you know, the tenants are going to pay the rent to pay down your mortgage, rents are going to increase over time, everything continues to grow. The next thing we like to look for is value add opportunities. This is where you can, you know, on a single family a lot of times we'll convert attics to bedrooms. On multifamily opportunities, we'll work with the property managers to increase occupancy. We'll look for strategies to make that property worth more, because as income grows on these properties, so does the resale value of that property. And then the third strategy we look for, the third trend that we believe is important, is finding emerging markets. So where in the country is the market going to grow in the next 5 to 7 years, so you can put some type of exit strategy on your investment? So where can we think that appreciation might happen? Where do we think that job growth is going to happen? Where are the demographics of the country leading? Where do people want to live? Where are jobs going? And so if we put together, you know, the cash flow with the value add opportunities in an emerging market, we tend to find that 9 times out of 10 we can put together a successful project. To further take our conversation about trends in the marketplace and talk about emerging markets, this is a map put out by the OFHEO, you know, by our government, on fourth quarter price changes by state. And this is interesting to us because most of the markets that we like to play in right now are cash flow markets where the market never really appreciated and rents are strong. And you see these states typically in the light blue cover. Now these are states that have, if you look at the margin at the below, have increased from 2 to 5%. Even in this marketplace, these states, these markets are appreciating from 2 to 5%. If you look at the red, places where, like Florida and Nevada and California, where people were speculating, you know, those have actually gone down, you know, from 5 to 10% in many cases. So cash flow markets continue to be strong. The areas in dark blue, Texas, Oklahoma, I think have some cash flow opportunities in them. But more than just this is historically looking. What you want to look at now is, you know, where are the next 5 to 7 years? Where are jobs going? And I think if you look at cash flow in these light blue areas and you look for regions within states, neighborhoods within regions, and you look for job growth and you look for positive demographics, that's how you're going to find that emerging marketplace, and that's how you're going to find something that cash flows today, and 5 to 7 years from now, that property, because of the increase in value from the value that you're adding to it and the increase in the appreciation, you're going to have a nice little investment at the end of that rainbow. The next thing we want to look at in these trends and opportunity is how you execute this strategy, how you are going to get into the investment, and oftentimes, more importantly, how you're going to get out of the investment. So when we talk about trends in the marketplace, one of the things that was missing with the pre-construction and appreciation, you know, gambling, was a clear exit strategy. So one of the things I think you have to decide first is, are you going to be an active or passive investor? Many of these markets, may be, 1,000, 2,000 miles away from you live. So you have to decide what kind of investor you're going to be. Are you going to be working with a team that's already put together? Or are you going to be out there building your own teams? Both of them can be successful. And that goes on to the next point is do you have a team? So if you're going to be working in Ohio and you live in New York, who's the team that's going to be in the streets supporting you? The next thing you want to look at is make sure that you perform your own due diligence. If you have a team out there and people that are providing you properties and maybe you're going on LoopNet or you're talking to other investors and they provide you with pro formas, you want to make sure that you always do your own due diligence. You look at the market, you look at the property, you look at the numbers. And then lastly, that exit plan. So how many years are you going to get out of this, and how are you going to get out of this, and what's the profit built into it? And a lot of times I like to think, what's the plan B? So when we're playing in a cash flow market, a lot of times what we'll do at Property Mavericks is we sell properties to investors. Now, if for some reason we can't sell that property to an investor, we know it cash flows, we refinance it, and we hold it in our own personal portfolios till we believe the market or we can add value or perform one of the strategies to make this work. The following are some of the types of opportunities you can find at Property Mavericks, and you can find us at www.propertymavericks.com. But in general, we have three different types of opportunities. We have investment LLCs. This is where we'll put together, 5, 10, 15 investors, and we'll go out and perform a strategy. Like right now, we're going out into in the Go Zone, and we're buying small condominiums for cash flow and appreciation, and we've put together small LLCs for all of us to participate in that. The second type of ownership is direct ownership. This is where we sell typically rehabbed rental properties that are either single family or small multifamily, like duplex, triplex, fourplexes, maybe 6-8 unit properties where you can come in and own these directly. And then the third type of opportunity that we put together are tenant in common agreements for large apartment properties. We do typically from 100 to 300 unit apartment buildings for typically accredited investors. So come find us on the website at www.propertymavericks.com, and you can look into those and find our emails from there. The last thing I want to talk about today is a little bit about our education and mentorship program under our company, the Real Training Institute. Under the Real Training Institute, my partners Eric Bergman and Steve Tavani and I teach a 6-month course. This is something taught by real investors in the streets doing deals every day, from fixing and flipping properties to wholesaling properties to cash flow to apartment deals to how to build teams in multiple markets across the country. Typically our students are doubling the cost of this course in their first deal. It's a very hands-on, it's a 6 months online webinar presentation for an hour every week with a group coaching telecall for open questions once a week. I think it's over 36 hours of content in that 6 months. So if you are looking for information on how to become a more active investor, if you're looking to get into the apartment building, fix and flip business, any of those strategies, I encourage you to give us a look. You can find the Real Training Institute from our website at www.propertymavericks.com. And with that, I'd like to thank you and end our conversation for today, and tell you to keep a look at this channel as we post more educational news on trends and opportunities and what we see going on in the real estate market today. Thank you very much, and take care, everyone.